have a very specific routine that I do to put my skates on. And no matter what, I always have to put my left skate on first and then my right. And I always step on the ice first with my right foot.
When I'm putting on my skates before the short program or long program, if it's competition and I'm putting on my skates, I have to be listening to a Beatles song. It started like 4 years ago, and I always listen to the Beatles now consistently when I'm putting my skates on before we go out. I
wake up and I watch The Office every morning before I compete. It just helps, I don't know, get me in a fun, happy, laughing kind of mindset before I go up and have to be super serious all day long. So I like to watch The Office.
Heading into 2018, I definitely had a lot of rituals that I swore by and did not skate well. So I think, having had that experience, rituals for me is something like my new rituals to not do any rituals, right? So now I just try to avoid anything. Every single day is a new day. Every opportunity is a new opportunity. Every competition is going to be different. So if I stick to some ritual that I think has some, performance benefit, it likely won't have much of a benefit.
In ski racing is a pretty dynamic sport. The conditions and weather and everything changes by the second. So the superstition thing can be a little tricky, I think. For me, I put my right foot on first every single time. I've also gotten into the habit of eating these little Reese's peanut butter cups in the start gate. For some reason, that really works for me.
So for me, a little superstitious. Yeah, I whistle before I go out of the start. And that's something I actually kind of went viral in Russia in Pyeongchang because I was whistling Jesus Loves Little Children right before I went out of the start. Why? I don't know. I just like to do it and it calms me down, I guess.
It started off not purposely being like a superstitious thing, but then I just kept doing it because it was funny. But last season when we were training, sometimes I would have Skittles before we would do like a long program or something, just for like an extra hype. So then it just became this thing now that every time we travel to our competitions, I always bring Skittles and I shove a handful down right before we take the ice for the warm up. And we kind of laugh about it now. And now I just do it because I have to do it.
I definitely always bring a small piece of dark chocolate and I have it before my 6-minute warm up, before I compete. It just puts me in a good mood. And I guess the other thing is I have a Jade necklace that I wear all the time. My grandparents gave it to me when I was born. And whenever I'm nervous, I always touch it and feel it and just kind of calms me down and sets me up for competition.
I would say that some sort of breathing exercise and some sort of lighthearted banter with my coaches to kind of keep the focus external and keep me from getting too in my thoughts is always necessary.
I used to be really superstitious growing up, and I would have weird things. I didn't like to look at myself in the mirror on race day. But since then, I've tried to get out of those habits. Just you try to get yourself in the mental space where you can just focus on skiing and focusing on performing, not worrying about things that are out of your control.
During my warm-up, I have a playlist. Every year I make a little bit different one with a new title, depending on what I'm focused on that year. And so just like to listen to that playlist and get in the right mindset during warm-ups. And then in addition to some meditation and doing something that I can just do to calm myself down the night before, whether that's reading or talking to my family, whatever it may be. So there's nothing too particular, just calming myself down and then just getting in the right mindset the morning of.
I just have my warm up, I guess, that I do and try to do pretty much the same sort of warm up before every event. But I don't know, maybe I'm weird with the superstitions because I feel if I have a ritual that I have to do before every event, if there's something that throws off my routine, I don't want to feel thrown off, so I don't really have any things that I have to do before an event.
We memorize our course from top to bottom and every little bump in it. And so I'll probably play my course through my head from top to bottom at least 100, 150 times of where the lines are, where you want to be, where the moves are. And if I mess up, I start from the top and I run it through like it's a clean run. And then meditation, I do a lot of meditative techniques to just keep the mind and everything in check.
As far as superstitions go, meditation, like Winter said, positive imagery. I have one thing that I watch, about a 15-minute highlight reel from my performance with Pyeongchang. Obviously all made shots, so I get positive thoughts in my mind before practice or games, so I do that daily. So other than that, pretty much the same routine every day, especially game day, and just go through it, and just everything's a habit.
Yeah, nothing too specific for me. I just like listening to music in the morning and just trying to get hyped for the day, and just like Maddie, try to have a good time with it and just get in the right mindset in the morning.
Yeah, I would say I'm about the same as Alex. Listen to music, hang out with friends, just try not to take anything too seriously. I think the serious side comes pretty quick once you're on the mountain. So keeping it mellow in the morning and try to have as much fun as you can before headed up.
For me, a big thing is music. And yeah, I guess one thing maybe in the winter. So I compete in cross country and biathlon. And so I have like different sets of music that I listen to on those days. So I feel like biathlon days, I try to be a little bit more calm with my music that I'm listening to, and then maybe a little bit higher tempo on a cross country day.
I don't know if I have that particular of one. I know for Jean-Luc and I, pretty much since we started skating together, the one thing that we always do, regardless of where we are or what our schedule is like, is in the time right before our 5-minute warm-up, and then the time between when we're on the ice and getting back on to perform, we share like a pretty long hug. And I mean, yes, it's for comfort and for like knowing that we're in it together, but it's also our breath. So we really feel each other and sync the timing of our breath, and it helps us just kind of get into the same headspace and just get on the ice together. So that's been something that we always do. We also have a handshake that we do every time before we skate, and during practice as well. Just a little like boost that we get.
I think for us, the routine that we've crafted over the years, just from getting ready to go to the event and our warm-up, has become our ritual. So it's many little things pieced together that has become a constant and comforting ritual for us.